Hi guys and welcome back to the brand new video. And a few days that I didn't make any videos on this channel, so I'm going to make a brand new election prediction because the July election prediction is a bit outdated. So let's take a look at the brand new one. So this is a little bit big change uh, compared to the July election prediction. So let's take a look at the map right now by filling in some very safe state. I've been deciding to move on to some new series of videos, but now I decided to continue to work on this. And the last week, I'm working on a new channel, but this is not about politics, so I'm not going to talk about much about it. And this is a very safe state for the both candidates. Oh, just leave this alone. Okay, and take a look at the map. You can see that Joe Biden has 182 and Donald Trump 125. And you can see the map is still very safe. But now I have some little bit changed on Mississippi and South Carolina. This two states is not a really very safe state for Donald Trump right now. This two states has been a very big black population or other race of colors. So this two-state black population is big, and after the George Floyd murder, this two-state will very typical for Biden because this two-state are black, so black will come to vote, and Biden may gain much more traction. And if Biden can even convince more and more the black voters, this two-state is not safe. That's why this two-state is not safe. But another scenario is talking about Montana. This state is also a red state, a very red state. But now this state is about review. Now, if this scenario happened, the election held today, so this may 8 to 9% wins by Trump. This is a very small margin compared to 2016. And let's take a look at some swing state, Nevada. Nevada, I'm not going to talk about much because this two state, and also in Colorado and New Mexico, and now it's nothing changed. This three state, also likely and safe for Joe Biden, and I think Trump may still have 5% chance to get this free state, but it's really not a big chance for Trump. So we're not going to talk about much about it. And state Arizona, this state has trends a lot about Hispanic, but Trump has a little bit surged in the polls about the Hispanic voters and the race, which black and other kinds of colors people will vote. This state will stay in the Democratic column by 2 margin. And talking about the state of Texas, many polls update MSNBC or you about New York Times or CNN. This state is not favored Trump right now. I mean, is not really favored Biden that way, but this state is now being really close, really competitive. So I will put this state still in the Trump column, but in tilt margin. And also in Nebraska 2 district. It's very hard to decide because this is a congressional district just like Maine, so Biden may still have a chance to get it, but Trump now still is holding a small lead, really small lead. So Trump got it, the Nebraska 2 district. And in Iowa, with 6 electoral votes, this state is also being very typical for both candidates because this state is won by Barack Obama in 2008 and 2012. Sorry. So this two states is a little bit likely blue state before, but now 2016 this state has Trump won by nearly 10 points. So this state is not continuing blue, so this state will become blue maybe in 2020. So it's a tilt for Donald Trump. And in state of Minnesota, not really a big prize for Donald Trump. It's just get the state because only 10, and Joe Biden also the same word. If he choose Klobuchar's running mate, this state to the double prize for Biden, but now this is not even happening. So let's continue on state of Georgia. The state of Georgia, this state, I will put in a tilt margin for also for Donald Trump, because this state also have a very big black population in the south. So I think this state is also very, very crucial for Joe Biden. Stacey Abrams talk about if she becomes the Biden running mate, this state even flip for Joe Biden in 2020 election. But now it's also not happening because Stacey Abrams is very likely become Joe Biden running mate. And state of Florida, this state is also very, very typical, very, very typical and competitive. So I will a little bit put a state on Biden column, because this state, the governor Ron is not holding the coronavirus great. So maybe the Republican voters will try to vote for the candidate they want. So this they will later put in the Biden column, but not Trump. But Trump still has a very big chance to get it to flip it back. But now the poll shows Biden has a very big lead in the state of Florida. You can check out the polls in the LCP average. Okay, let's take a look at North Carolina. This state has 15 electoral votes, so it's very typical too. It's very critical too. So I will now put it for Biden, and then also the tilt margin. So you can see a lot change for now, that Iowa, Texas, Georgia has been tilted for President Trump, and Biden gained much more traction in Arizona and North Carolina, in Florida. So also in the state of Ohio, that the state also tilted for Donald Trump. So Texas, Iowa, Ohio, and Georgia, this fourth state is a very big prize for Biden if he can get it, but it's not happening in Texas. I can absolutely tell you that Texas is not gonna flip blue in 2020. So in Virginia, it's likely, no big surprise, no worries for Biden campaigns, and in New Hampshire also it's likely now, and Maine no change, and Trump will get second district by two margin, just like Nebraska too. And now we came down to the third closest state in 2016, also the third closest state in 2020, maybe this four is the closest, I don't know. So in Michigan, this state now I will predict it, because many of the pollers stats, this state Michigan is now trending much more blue than before. The polls in, you may say the polls in May or in June, now this state is likely for Joe Biden. And Pennsylvania now is also I think it's also likely to lean margin, so it's now likely. And Wisconsin is also leaning. And what you can see from this map is really important for both candidates is Iowa, Texas, Georgia, and Ohio. This four closest states. And also don't forget Arizona, North Carolina, Florida, and other some of the states. And Biden is holding a much more big lead, a commanding lead over Donald Trump. And you can see free for Donald Trump, for Joe Biden and Donald Trump 205. You can see much more change with the map right now. And some more states trending blue, some more states is trending red, maybe some of the state is staying in the toss-up column. And I will see you in the next video about, I will do a next new series of video later. And bye.